Welcome back to Attack on Titan Anime Review Episode 57. I had to redo this video because after 3 minutes of talking, my microphone stopped working, and I couldn't exactly continue recording with no microphone. So, this episode we're discussing here is basically we're discussing Final Chapter Special Part 1, which covered a little bit of basically probably just some scenes from Chapter 1 of the series, along with the entirety of Chapters 131 to 133, and almost the entirety of Chapter 134, with the exception of the opening 6 pages of the chapter. Now, I have been checking just to make sure I'm not missing anything after these specials, so, with the exception of one live-action miniseries, when it comes to the anime, these specials are literally it. The fact that the map has stretched out this season now for 3 years. And the reason for the doing this is because of the very negative reception the final chapter got. Like, not to the point where I got death threats per se, is a lot of people were not happy with the final chapter of the series. It wasn't like Demon Slayer where they had to have like a 100-year time skip with that one. No, the ending was not very popular with people, and he has apologized for it. I've read it. It is not bad of an ending, so I don't get exactly why people don't like it. I mean, this is something basically he built up to do, and yet people hated the ending. And he apologized for it. In my view, he didn't need to apologize. This is what he wanted to do. Fine. If people don't like it, fine. But the negative reception toward that final chapter was a bit unnecessary. Yes. So, we start off basically with these two kids, where they're basically burying some money they stole because they want to live basically fably, because apparently living in huts for reasons unexplained here. And we see, now in the manga they don't show this, in the anime they do show this, one of the kids is missing his right hand. The reason? He was caught stealing, so the old-fashioned punishment, chop off the hand. Yeah. In my honest opinion, this is a very outdated punishment. And look, I've only seen once here. Now, I have seen this once in fiction where they actually brought this type of punishment where for stealing they would chop off someone's hand. It's been mentioned a few times. I believe I saw this in the Robin Hood, not Man in Tights. It was the Prince of Thieves movie with Kevin Costner. They attempted to show this. One guy was caught stealing, so his punishment was his hand chopped off. Or at least this one, his hand chopped off. Like, that's not a good idea. And thank God it's a very outdated punishment, because it is completely unnecessary to do that. Because it is not, like, how are you supposed to function without your hands? But let's not talk about it anymore. So, then all of a sudden, bump, bump, bump. What's happening? The rumbling is happening. Yes, they're attacked by the Wall Titans, where we would see a flashback. Now, I had to bring this up again because I mentioned in the previous video. The writer of the series has been occasionally spilling in flashbacks in this particular final arc, in these final chapters of the series. Now, this is also for the manga, where they've attempted to fill in the gap between the events of seasons 3 and 4. Look, I always love the fact when they do time skip, and they do in fact try to explain what the heck happened. This is kind of what happens here. So he kind of looks like Aaron's been to this time before. We even show another flashback later on where we actually get set up for the events of the start of the season, where Marley is attacked by Eren and his scouts want to take out the Navy and one of the forts in the area. And of course, that particular opening part of the season, that's been referenced several times since then. And basically, this was mapped out by Eren and Mikasa. Actually, maybe because Eren wasn't here, but yeah, that basically flashback was told there. and they mentioned about the Colossus Titan. So basically, they explain how they plan on that. Actually, on the episode then. And the two kids we see are crushed by the Wall Titans. Well, one of them is seeing the found the alien. This little girl who married the king, an evil king, and basically gave him children. Which, of course, because she's got the power of the Titans, thanks to this tree, that basically, in order to have his children get the power, his children had to eat their mother. Yep, that's exactly what happened. And you might think this sounds gross. It kind of is, but that's how they can explain the series, how the Titan power got passed on so much. So right after this, then we cut to present day, where we cut to the main cast of characters of this series, once left alive, which is basically Levi, Mikasa, Armin, Annie, who's basically talking to Armin. I'll talk about that in a minute. Hodge is here. The black guy who appeared in the flashbacks, who also appears in the present day, he's the original character of the season. He's back here. So basically, they're here on the boat, and they get to this port where they move explosives from this, what they refer to as a flying boat. It's an airplane. It's a seaplane, is basically what it is. So, and they're about to get fueled up, and then Vlad shows up and shoots the tank. And those flashes after they shoot him with basically the ODM gear. Annie is offered the train with the new ODM gear because it's basically updated the few years since she last used it, and she declines. Armin basically tells her, also prior to this, that Armin tells Annie that he has feelings for her, which in the manga referred to as special feelings. Basically, he's in love with her. And she is shocked to hear this, the fact that Armin's got a thing for her. It was also questioned that possibly Eren may have had a thing, that she may have a thing for Eren, but it's never really delved into at all. So, and of course, Annie asked the obvious question, Mikasa, what happened to your scarf? She's like, I still have it. She just took it off. Because what Eren told, because what Eren said to her. Yeah. And of course, they get the thing, they patched up. They're basically about ready to patch up, take like an hour, but the rumbling has come to them. So Hotch proceeds to hand off her positions off to Armin, who's new commander of the scouts, and tells them to run. Tells that basically Levi is now a subordinate, and they run to the bone. Levi, of course, basically, if you haven't seen yet, he has got scars on his face, and he has lost one of his eyes. That was due to something Zeke did to him when he proceeded to turn his whole group into Titans. That was from part 2 of the series. The season, anyways. So Hotch takes new ODM gear, along with a couple of Thunder Spears. The Thunder Spears were actually introduced in season 3 of the show, which they used to try to take out the Colossus Titan, which they did. So she takes out several of the Titans before she finally burns out. And enough time for them basically to have Gabby, I don't remember the kid's name, the guy, and Annie and the girl who's a relative of Mikasa, when they go on a boat to go to basically her homeland, and everybody else flies in the plane. Now, they only fill up half the tank because that's all they had time to do. So they fly out, and they're flying out to deal with Eren, possibly take him down. They have a pretty good idea what he looks like now in his new Family Titan form, combined with a Warhammer Titan, which he ate the first part of the season. So then, of course, they proceed to discuss that, maybe talk him down, and then Eren brings him to the strange plane. I refer to it as that because this thing does not have a name. It is simply put a desert-like place with its gigantic tree, and they do cut out basically Eren with the founding Eldian. Now, why in the world they cut this out for? I don't know. Now, he does speak in the scene, yes. You're probably thinking, did the anime screw up basically to have his lips move? No, that's actually from the manga itself. So after basically, of course, they asked those questions like, okay, so you have them have the control Eldians, but you allow us to use their Titan powers? It's basically, the way to explain this scene is that Eren is begging them to kill him. So then of course they Let me cut to there's a bit of a change here with this one, where we cut to a train. Yes, a train. The interior of this train looks a little different in the manga. In the manga, basically, it's more enclosed. It looks like a train we see like nowadays with these box cars. In the anime, it's more open for some reason. My guess were I'm not sure why this was changed for. So we have an Eldian basically holding a Marleyan at gunpoint. I believe in the anime they have a pistol. In the manga, it's a rifle with basically a bayonet pointed at him. So they basically have this base to fly out on these blimps to fly away from the rumbling. Instead, the blimps are used basically an air raid until all taken out by the Beast Titan. And of course, everybody arrives. And then, of course, like everything, all hope is lost. Oh, and also we see Annie's father here with basically, I think, her armband. I think she worked so hard to get this armband. And then basically reinforcements arrives, basically all the ODM gear, and of course, Dumber the guy's the black guy. He proceeds to fly down. He disappears. So we have Reiner, who basically wants to atone for what he did throughout the seasons, including killing the one guy I showed in a flashback. I think it was I remember his name is because they show in season 3 that I think it was Marco. I think his name is Marco. Let's say Marco. Yeah, they show that he was killed in season 1. They don't know how he died. It was suspected maybe Annie may have had a hand in doing it, but they never confirmed it. And then they confirmed in season 3, just because death was done off screen. They confirmed that basically Annie, Reiner, and Belmont killed him. Basically, hand off to Titan. So, and of course, basically the cast characters is Jean, Connie, Levi, the host, the Car Titan. Of course, also Hodge is basically doing a creepy moment. Like, this is the first time she's done this in season 1 of the show, where she's like drooling over the fact she may feel the heat of a Titan. And of course, the host, the Car Titan, is like, yeah, don't be creepy. She is not like when she's creepy at all. And it's like, okay, we have 2 Marleyans, technically 3. Well, 2 Marleyans here, plus a bunch of aliens working together to stop the Falling Titan. Of course, you have Reiner goes to its armored Titan form. Of course, everybody immediately recognizes basically that the 2 Marleyans and the Eldians are fighting against the Falling Titan to basically save the world. And I do appreciate the fact we have Reiner fighting Zeke, because it's basically one of the plans to separate Zeke from Eren. Everybody goes down. And of course, Elrond asks the obvious question in the episode, Eren, what exactly do you want? And that's the episode. And I should point out the reason why it took me a bit of a while to get a chance to watch this, because this thing is not 20 minutes. This is an hour long. And part 2 is an hour and 90 minutes. Like, basically an hour and 24 minutes. I'll probably watch it a little bit later, but this special was really, really good. And I have heard this was basically late releases, episode 80, 89, but this is like a compilation of those episodes. It's kind of weird they did that, where it's like they probably wanted to release these as 6 episodes, or at least 7, but they decided to use compilations first and then release them separately. Not sure why. And by the way, these are split into chapters. Yes, they are split into chapters. Chapter 1 is called The Rumbling. You're thinking, okay, what about chapter 2? Chapter 2 is Sins. Is Sinners. It's split into 2 chapters, this one. But damn good stuff here. I enjoyed it. Also, for some reason, when they had this brief scene between Mikasa and Annie, it's like a very weird filter they use on it for the scene because it's at night. I thought this was weird. It looks like something you see on like a broadcast TV. I thought this was really weird. But it looks like a good effect. I appreciate that. Oh, and also, here's some interesting stuff with this episode. There's no CG. The animation looks gorgeous. And I personally can't wait to watch part 2 and to basically end Attack on Titan fully. After viewing this thing for, oh my gosh, like how long has it been since I did the first episode of this thing? Let's see. Let's see. How long has it been since I reviewed the very first I think it's more. Let's see. How long ago was it? It was. Let's see. So. Okay, so I started reviewing this back in January of 2018. So. This ends a review series. Basically, the very next episode, kind of interview series that been going on for 5 years. And now I'm ending it with the very next video. I might do a one-off return to do the live-action special that they had, which big with the live-action movie, which is basically Counter Rockets. But yeah, basically these 2 episodes last thing review with me anime. But basically, next episode when I do this, that'll be the finale, and it'll be a one-off return, and that'll be it for the franchise. Because you might be curious, okay, what about you? What about the light novels of the series? Do you plan on reviewing those? I don't have any plans to view those. If I do, it would be something, but I have no current plans to view them. One of them, I want, at least two of them, I've actually read the manga adaptation of them, which is basically Before the Fall and Lost Girls. I have heard Before the Fall, like people who basically one person talk about it, describe it as not that good of a series. I don't think it's that bad per se. It's interesting. But basically, we'll find out more later on today. So, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Okay, next video. Bye.